they got these things called the metal tables. And if you sat at the metal table, that was basically like Buster, Levi, you ain't shit type shit. And in the Bloods, being I was by myself, we didn't have no table. We didn't have no chairs. We played in the Southback chairs, like you sit on the rows, and they got these little Cadillac chairs that everybody, like my homeboy sits at this chair, he sits at this chair. So when I got there was no extra chairs, so I started to sit at the table for like a week, maybe two. And then she got over there, and we got some chairs, and we started establishing our little area because the homie B-Rack came from Inglewood NHP, and then one other homie came. So we ended up getting like 4 Bloods right there, and we started getting some establishment. But it was never really no Crip and Blood problem like that on Cleveland. When I first got over there, I had like 2 tattoos. And once a Waterfront Piru with a big old CK #1 under it. And my boy, he from Spooktown, named Lil Reno. He had called me over there by his chair. And he was like, "What's that say on your arm?" I was like, "Waterfront Piru." And he said, "What's that right there?" I said, "CK." And he tested me. And he's like, "What that stand for?" And if you didn't have no heart, you wanted to go to repeat it. You know what I mean? I was like, "It stands for Crab Killer." And he started laughing. He was like, "All right, I was just trying to see if you was going, basically back then stand on what you was saying." You know what I mean? So I was just telling him that's what it stands for. And then he was like, "All right." But Cleveland was cool. I had a homie named Twin that was in the next unit, Roosevelt, the Samoan homie. He ended up going there. So I had another homie that was a Mexican from the hood at the time named Donut. He was there. And then the homie Peanut from Carson. Because anything that's like Carson or Wilmington, I consider it the same. Because we all down there went to school together, know each other. You know what I mean? So it's down there like 2 cities in one with me. So, and then my homie Sleep from Cabbage Patch was there. My homie One Shot from Scottsdale Pop was there. So it was like 5, 6 homies from my area there. And then I had an enemy there, but he was on lockdown, which was Lil Devil from 190. And then I had an enemy named Lil Blue from Dodge City. He was there too, but he was on a lockup unit, so we barely even seen each other. But my little fights I had and all that little stuff didn't really come with enemies. It just came from like inner house unit, you know what I mean, fighting over the microwave, fighting because like they'll drop you Levi, like little shit like, you ever heard of that? The Levi word?
Yeah, of course. That's like, a derogatory word, yeah.
Like, yeah, so we used to run lockers in Nellis. So as soon as you find out someone got dropped Levi, you be like, I'm trying to get in his locker before anybody else get in it. Because if he throw a fuck and say, fuck your dad, whatever, his fuck really don't count because he's a Levi. You know what I mean? So back then, people used to run your lockers and try to test you and shit, see if you go throw a fuck and stand on it. Why Nellis had a lot of mind games where everybody's trying to manipulate each other, and it was weird, man. It was weird. But they had a school area, right? The school area is where you catch everybody at. There's a thing called the bend, and then when you hit that bend, there's no police back there. It's probably like a little blind area. Because Nellis, let me try to run it back. Nellis is like a real school. You have first, second period, third period. Go back to your unit to eat, and then you come back for 4th or 5th period. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when the bell rings, you get up out your classroom and you walk. Everybody got to walk the same way on the line, but you can just bell deep. You know what I mean? And you got 5 minutes to get to your class like a real school. So everybody used to try to catch. You'll see all the little, whoever had enemies, they'll catch each other on this thing called the bend, and they'll be squabbling up. You see the most fights you'll see ever. Right there, that's for the people who cared, who wasn't trying to catch no time. You know what I mean? Wasn't trying to get caught. Because if you got caught, you was getting time back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you there when WACK 100 was there?
Yeah, that's my dog. Okay. Yeah. He was there. WACK only did like he down there. I think he maxed out right there. He only had like 2 years when he came, or like a year and a half. And he was on the unit called Roosevelt. And him and my homie from my hood, my Samoan homie Twin, they was road dogs. They was work out together, do everything together. And me and WACK used to be in the school area pressing shit. You know what I mean? And one thing, let me tell you about WACK, man. That a lot of people don't. It ain't no dick riding. It ain't none of that. Wack always been the way he is right now. He always been like that. Like when we was in YA, he always yelled, always was aggressive. He when he spoke, he's boisterous, and he be ready to get down. Like, you know what I mean? He a YA baby. A YA baby like me. That's like when we get forward and we get to the pen. I'm a YA baby. We don't give a, like at a certain point in your life, you don't care. You can go back to a YA baby quick. And that means you'll turn up and you don't care. It is what it is. You know what I mean? But a lot of times, you know, I don't know if it ain't entertainment. That nigga he really talk shit and he really stand on the shit. I was there with him in Nellis. You know what I mean? He was one of the biggest homies there at a young age. For the power rules in the blood. You know what I mean? It was him, as far as big homie T-Bone from BNG, my homie Twin 3, and Lil Rocky Bills from Stick to His Brown. There was like the people that had some size on them that was big for young niggas. And then Wack, nobody wanted no problems with Wack at all. So we was there together. He was on Roosevelt. I think your boy said he was on Adams, but he was on Tyler. He ended up going to Tyler. That's the little unit you got. It's like you got to march, like a military type unit. You said you do your last 30 days there. So he had so much commissary, he had left it all to my Samoan homie Twin. And the Twin couldn't fit all that shit in his cell, so he gave most of that shit to me. You know what I mean? Yeah, but Wack was there, and he had the same wife back then too. The girl he went down, that she was coming then. He been with her since then.
Wow.
Yeah, I ain't never seen nobody do no shit like that besides Hispanics. I be saying Hispanics, they be with their girl for like 30 years. I be in prison on the 4 yard. I be like, damn, your girl been holding it down for years. How she was with him, she held him down. I could say that.
That's what's up.
But yeah, Wack was there though, and he was on go mode. Let me say that. He wasn't sitting there just doing his time. He was on go mode with the rest of it.
I'm 45 years old, 45 and I'm 31, and I'm tired of it. And you the older generation than me, and I am too. And we've been standing around as the older ones, taking all this bullshit. Always hoping for a kumbaya fucking job. Come here. Always standing around for a kumbaya. Ain't nobody coming to protect us. We gotta start our own fucking life.
It's like the message has been lost. How much money does a black life cost? Every time we kill another brother, we keeping people employed who profit when we kill another. How can we make a change instead of pointing at others for the blame? Shit, let's put some gasoline on the flame and burn this bitch down if they don't hear what we saying. Better be strapped for the peace. They talking about defunding police. Gun stores sold out for 6 weeks. I'm smelling something in the air and it reeks. Black lives matter all the time, not just when one of them kills one of our kind. Cause I don't ever see Al Sharpton speaking when Chicago has 30 murders in 1 weekend.